Hi, I'm Darnell with Wave Oven Recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking up some ribeye steaks in the Ninja Foodi XL Pro Air Oven. Let's see how it does with some steaks right now. Alright, so here we have 3 ribeye steaks, and I'm using the air fryer basket. And the reason I'm using the air fryer basket, even though they give you like a grill rack and all that you can use with the bake pan inside of it, and you can use the broil feature and all, is because I have done a little test with the air broil and I wasn't impressed with it, personally speaking. I prefer, usually in most cookers, when I'm cooking up a steak, to use air fry. I find that most air fryer ovens do a better job searing the steak overall if you put it in like an air fryer basket and use the air fry function. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. And so each of these steaks, about a pound each, I'm going to put a little canola oil on them, and then some of this McCormick's Grill Mate Montreal steak seasoning. Nothing in the video is sponsored, well, more than I wanted to put. I'm not going to be using this bake pan. I've got the other bake pan with the grill rack in there on the bottom rack. I'll use that just to catch drippings down bottom. So that'll catch the drippings down low. But up higher on the third rack up, I'm going to have the air fry basket with these steaks doing their air fry thing, and Lord willing we'll get the nice sear that I want from them that way. I just find having them able to get more air works out better than putting them on a rack that basically blocks some of the air and such. And like I said, the broil works like a broiler, but it doesn't distribute the air as much, and so I don't feel that the overall searing is as nice as when you just use air fry. So I'm going to be doing basically air fried ribeye steaks here, and you'll see what I mean by the time this is all done, I do believe. So get our steak seasoning over the top of this one here. I'm going to flip them all over. And this oil, the canola oil, just a light bit of it isn't going to impact the flavor at all, but it just helps to hold those seasonings in place real nice. So I like to go ahead and do that. And I start cooking, basically I put them in and start cooking them while things are preheating, since it's just doing that 90-second preheat, and things don't get very hot during that quickie preheat. So I just put things in there, let them set through that, and then just go ahead and start cooking. And things work out pretty nice with this cooker doing things that way. So getting a little more of my seasonings on here. You want to be generous with the seasonings, I will say that. Don't skimp on the seasonings. That's, brings out a lot of flavor and adds a nice flavor to things as well. So putting a nice generous portion of seasoning on here. I want to get this little part over here, that little bit that hasn't taken any seasoning yet. So that looks good. That looks real nice. And so with that, I'm going to open it up. And, oh, forgot to put my iGrill 2 probes in. Basically, I'm going to be tracking temperature, hoping to get to about 150 internal for a medium well. A nice medium well. I'll pull them out then, and we'll let carryover do anything else that it would like to do to them, and they should come out pretty nice. So turned it on there, sticking the 3 probes in. So this is 3, 2, and this is probe 1 here. So once I stick it in, you'll see the temperature rapidly drop. You can let your steak sit out to get closer to room temp if you choose. I just kind of like to go for it. So got to open on up and slide them on in on the third rack up, like so. Got to make sure my probe wires aren't getting in the way. That looks good like that. So move that over there a little bit. Get this up a little bit. Go ahead and close up. That looks good. Now we're going to turn the cooker on, and now that it's on, I'm going to go over to the air fry function and under air fry, go up to the maximum temperature I can get, up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit for time. Don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to put it out to 30, and we'll just see how long it takes. You know, maybe it'll take that long, maybe it'll take a little more, but we shall see. We'll keep track of things according to their cooking temperature. And so I'm going to hit start, and I'll bring you on back in a bit. Alright, so the meat's been cooking for about almost 25 minutes now. That's not including the preheat. We can add another 90 seconds for that. Our steak in the middle is at 96 degrees. The steak over here on the left is at 111. The steak over on the right is at 106. So once this gets down to an even 5 minutes left, 25 minutes even total of actual cook time, I'm going to go ahead and flip the steaks over so that they can get an even cook on both sides of them. And so this is going along pretty good so far, but I will have to definitely add some time once I get done with all the flipping. But once I open, things auto pause. So I'm just going to try and gently get them out and see if I can flip them without making too much of a mess of things. Try and get the probes kind of positioned so they aren't interfering or anything. You see I'm starting to get some searing on both sides. That's what I like about the air fry. Get a good sear on both sides. Everything can catch a lot of air, so there's no problem getting searing all over. Just make sure my probes are kind of sticking up there and not facing downward too much. But things look good. Seeing some nice searing. Close up. And I'm going to go ahead and bump the time up another 30 minutes since they need a good bit of time. So it's going up to 35 minutes to give things, you know, a lot more time to work with. But I'll bring you on back when things look like they're closer to done. Alright, so we are about 37 minutes in, and you can see that the one on the far left is at 149 degrees. The one in the middle is a little cooler. Let me see if I can, there it is, it's at 141 degrees, so it's just a little cooler. And the one on the far right is at 148, now it's at 149. So we're basically going to come in with the one in the middle. You know, I could, you know, just pull the ones on the ends, let the one in the middle cook a little longer if I want to get that to more of the medium well temp, but I'm going to go ahead and just pull all three now. We see, I'm just going to let this one on this side get to 150. This one on this side is already at 150. I'll just pull them and have that one in the middle just be a touch cooler, just a touch cooler. So we'll just shut down the iGrill 2 with that, get the probes out of the jack, and we'll go ahead and stop the cooker, and then go ahead and just turn it off and pull things out at this point. And there's been no smoke issues. You do see some smoke coming out of there now. So I'm just going to get my steaks out, and you see that I've got searing, you know, good searing on the ends and some searing on the other side a little bit. So I feel that the searing came out pretty good overall. I do like what I'm seeing. This one here on this side seems to have gotten a better sear than some of the others, but there you go. So here are our finished steaks. I'm just going to let them rest for 5 minutes before we cut into them. Okay, so these steaks have had 5 minutes to rest. And so I'm going to cut into the one that we see was on the end here and got a real good searing first, just to have a look inside of it. And you see a nice medium well interior in there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this one that was in the middle who didn't get as done as the ones on the ends. We'll see how it looks. And there you go. And maybe you like that steak there, maybe you do. And so just for you, I'm going to cut a piece for taste testing and just slice it down the middle here and just cut away from that fat area there. Have a couple slices of that for some taste testing. So get the camera moved and do a taste test. Alright, so let's taste test this steak, and thank God for this tasty meat. Can't help it, I gotta have this other one. I am telling you, that steak is delicious, and there's no other word for it. This cooker did a great job, seared the outside, inside, moist, tender, juicy. That's all I can say. So, I'm looking forward to your comments. Also in the video description you'll find ways to help this channel. You can get a referral link to purchase this cooker yourself, and it helps this channel without you paying anything more. And the site that I use, they ship things pretty quick usually. Also, there are other ways to help the channel in the video description. You can always join as a member and you get special perks. Also, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and good eating.